Olivia said she might be late. And Olivia said she might be late.
There's Anthony.
Good old Anthony.
Morning, Mer. How you doing?
Good. Paresh.
Morning.
Morning, Mer.
Hello. Hello.
Hello,
Good.
Hello, good morning.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, hey,
Yep.
man.
Perfect. Thank you. I just
Loud and clear.
Cool.
Ross. All right. The boys are coming. Treven. Olivia. She said she was going to be late. Olivia, you made it.
Yes, I did. I picked them up. I rushed all the way back.
Well done. Okay, I wonder if our friends from Thailand are joining us. Right, who wants to build the container? One at a time, please.
I'll go.
Good for you, Marcus. Go for it.
So yeah, who wants to start checking in?
David, I'm checking in relief that you started to build the container, Marcus. And I always get anxious about 9:58 in the UK, thinking, where is everyone? Nobody's going to come. I've started this party. I've invited people and nobody's going to rock up. And, and then you all arrived. So I'm feeling good. I'll tag Anthony.
Thank you. Yeah, I am feeling pretty grounded. Um, yeah, my life is all right today. I had my son this morning, which is out of routine, so I had to be up bright and early for the school run. So that was nice to see him this morning. So yeah, feeling good. I will tag Olivia.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Just done a round trip to the airport. I've got 19 of my Irish family coming over today. My niece is getting married on Friday, so it's a bit of a crazy week for me. So yeah, I'm feeling a bit like, whoa, too many people. Yeah, so I tag in Ross.
Hi everybody. Yeah, feeling great. Had a busy weekend. My mum came to visit, so she's leaving today. Met the baby for the first time, which was pretty special. It's just nice having her around, you know. She lives like 7 hours away now on the train, so she came down from Hartlepool and yeah,
Hartlepool!
Hartlepool. On the train, which is nice, you know. She loves the train, so she had a nice time and yeah, feeling pretty positive. I'll tag in Marcus.
Thanks, Ross. Yeah, checking in. Grounded, accomplished. Got a few odd jobs done over the weekend. Managed to get a proper spring cleaning. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the week. And I will tag Trevan.
Trying checking in motivated, being busy with studies and stuff throughout the week, but overall looking forward to the session. So we'll tag Paresh.
Hi everyone. Really looking forward to the session. I'm feeling okay. Just head down at the moment. Got lots going on. Trying to find a new job. And yeah, that's about it really. Has anyone not gone yet? Olivia? No.
Yeah, I've gone.
No,
Sorry.
you've gone. I've had anyone not gone yet?
So that's
We're done.
everyone.
Yep.
So Marcus, what happens next?
Contract. What are we going to discuss today?
So looking for the agenda. So it's the 3 C's: check-in, contract, we've built the container. Yeah. And then before we find out the agenda, was there any accountability from last week? Was there any homework?
But I had a bit, so for me it was to get on a coaching call with the new guy from Thailand, Tommy. Was it Tom?
Oh, so you've chased him away.
Well, no, no, we exchanged a few messages, but we haven't found a time yet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I had some homework to look at, just to be aware of my approach in situations, and then just sort of observing other people's. So yeah, it's opened up a whole new rabbit hole for me. And
Oh,
some of the
really?
reading I've been doing in the coursework, it's kind of intertwines into, listening, body language. So yeah, I'm a little less fiery, a bit more not calculated, but kind of trying to just stick to the outcome, being a positive, more solution focused outcome rather than holding one single person to account. So approaching an organization and someone that's employed by that organization, realize through this process that it's not always the head of the NHS's fault because they're not down on the ground. So that's a bit of a change in thinking. So yeah, I'm sure
Okay.
it will serve me well.
Wonderful. Anyone else?
I done my first session with Tia on Sunday morning. That was quite good.
I heard.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. What was good about it?
We just kind of got to know each other, kind of just building kind of where we're at and where I'm at. And then next week, I think she's going to be checking in with me. I'm going to be the host kind of thing. So
Okay, good.
reversing it around.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
I think we're going to do 2 hours on Sunday morning.
Okay, great.
It was all good.
Anyone else? All right. So the most important thing in the first session is for the client to come back for the second session. So where are our friends from Thailand? Did we do something wrong? We will hold the container open and see. Okay. All right, so where should we go today? Thank you, Marcus. Thank you for building that. Let's see what's today's agenda.
Can we speak about the medication side of things?
Medication side of things, okay.
Yeah, what's our input on that? What's our kind of where do we stand?
Okay. So do you know the Collins window?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't sound very convincing.
There's loads of diagrams and trying to figure out which one is which.
Okay. All right, so let me just draw it quickly. So the Collins window goes like this, and I've named it the Collins window because I'm quite protective of this work. Yeah. So here we've got leadership, management, yep, mentorship, yep, coaching, medical world, and then the biopsychosocial model. Yeah. And coaching sits in this window here. Yeah. And we need to have an understanding with our coachees, an understanding around the biopsychosocial model, the medical model, and the mutual aid model. Yep. When we're working in the business world, yep, or organizations, we use coaching to assist leadership and management in their roles in running the organization. Yeah. So Marcus kind of realized that blaming the leader of the NHS, yeah, it's a lot more complex than that because they have relationships with management and the people on the ground. Yeah. Okay. So what you're talking about, Olivia, is let's talk about our interaction with this world and medication. So who prescribes medication?
Doctor or nurse.
Yeah, for me, it's psychiatrist.
Okay. So GPs, yep. Psychiatrists, who else?
Chemist? No?
Chemists, okay. So they kind of dispense it, but
Yeah, I
yes,
thought
I
so.
would go with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Medical doctors.
Yep. So we got GP there. Yep. Do nurses prescribe?
Nurse
No.
practitioner,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. So sometimes nurses, or do they dispense?
Yeah, they administer.
Yep. So in South Africa, they administer. Yep. Chemists prescribe, and doctors write the prescription. Yep. In the UK, it's slightly different because the NHS is so overwhelmed. A lot of chemists now are able to prescribe medication based on the symptoms. Yep. So provided they follow strict guidelines. Yep. As a coach, what's our interest in that?
Just awareness of maybe side effects, what the condition is for
Okay.
that medication.
Okay. So give me an example.
So I don't know, maybe someone that's bipolar takes lithium. So it's
Okay.
understanding, the symptoms and behaviors that go with the condition and also the effects that the medication might have on, I don't know, conversations, learning, things like that.
Okay.
I can use me as an example if you want, David.
Great. Okay. So fantastic. I love the answers always in the container. So here we have emotions. Yep. And I'm going to say normal, which isn't the right word to use, but fuck up because, yeah, but people kind of go like that. Yeah. Good days, bad days. Yep. Sometimes people go up into the manic phase or down into the depressive phase. Yep. And medication, mood stabilizers, clip people. So you can't get too manic or you can't get too high. And then people that get over medicated become flat. Is that correct, Anthony? Would you support my thinking there?
Yeah, so that's correct. So my medication keeps me flat.
Great. So let's talk about that. Wonderful. Thank you for bringing your lived experience here.
So I have been, well, different depressive conditions. So I've been diagnosed with dysthymia, major depressive disorder, depression as whatever, and then I have
What's it called?
dysthymia,
How do you spell that?
DysthymiA. I think
And that
it's called progressive depressive disorder. So it means
progressive
that
depressive disorder.
I'll always have a low-term depression and then it'll flare up like Crohn's or IBS.
Okay, so you kind of move like this,
Yeah. But
but
because of
there's
my
always going to be a sense of flatness in your personality.
yeah, so the medication keeps me in my window of tolerance.
Okay, and that's what this thing is, the window of tolerance.
Yeah. So that middle line is where I operate at my most productive and safe.
Great. Okay.
And so when I've trialed ADHD medication in the past because I'm neurodiverse, but it
Okay.
sent me straight into the mania.
Okay. So when you've bought in, what medication?
The it's not the Ritalin, it's the other one. I can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
Violence.
Okay. Well, whatever. So there's sometimes meds that come in that take you up here.
Yeah, but because I have the dysthymia, instead of becoming manically um productive, I become manically obsessed with suicide very quickly because
Oh,
I have that,
fuck. Okay.
and so it become very dangerous very quickly for me. So I don't take that anymore, but
Okay. Good.
I,
Thank you.
I take anti-depression medication and I take antipsychotics daily and I take medication for CPTSD.
Okay. So let's just slow down. So given ADHD meds, yep, you can crash.
Yeah, very quickly downwards. Wasn't
Okay. All
healthy.
right. So I'm glad I asked. Okay. All right. So we don't want that. How do you manage that?
I just have to remove them and then I manage. Guess that's part of why I did the sound healing because the sound calms the ADHD from the singing bowls. And that's I felt great benefit when I discovered that. So
Okay.
I use the bowls and I have to meditate to keep the ADHD in check, which isn't always easy.
All right. So
Um
what kind of treatment would you call that?
um
Alternative?
yeah. Yeah, I guess that's just self-care and in one way or another, isn't it, really?
All right. So I'm just going to stick this down here as alternative.
Yeah, and I exercise a lot because if I don't, then I don't sleep.
Okay. And then the physical side exercise.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't spell. So, okay. Great. All right. So the rest of the participants here, what am I doing with Anthony?
You're building a rapport with him and finding out details about him.
And who's got the answers?
He has.
Okay, so I'm listening. So from a coaching perspective, I'm listening here and I'm just getting awareness of the system around him to support him in his mental well-being. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's mentioned what was that word? Dys
Dysthymia.
Dysthymia, autism, mania, suicide. Like there's a whole lot of fucking stuff there that's pretty high risk, huh? As a coach, what do I need to know?
The support that I have
Great,
to manage it.
great. And so let's just highlight this. Yeah, let's use this color. So we need to kind of know what this world is like and how he's interacting in this world. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm.
As a coach, is it our duty to ask them have they taken the medication and stuff like that, reminding them and stuff, or is that down to them?
Okay, so um, ask that in an open question.
Anthony, do you need to be
An open question.
oh my God. Do we need to ask the client?
Open question.
Okay.
Whenever you use the word do,
Do.
it's like a yes no answer. Yeah.
How
Okay.
does your medication feel when you take
Sorry.
it versus when you
Yeah.
don't take it?
Great. So that's yep.
Right.
What is your relationship with your medication? Yeah. What does support look like around this? How would you like me to help you here?
Okay.
Do
Yeah.
you, do you want me to answer?
I'm just yeah, go on then. Let's go. In for a penny. Yeah.
Um, so I take the medication twice daily, and
Okay.
so I've had issues in the past with the NHS getting my prescription right and ready on time because that they don't always have them out in the countryside. And
Great,
so
cool. So I mean it's not great that it's that happens, but this side of the window here, I want to talk about structure. Yep, and this being quite a loose structure. Yep, and this being a very constrained structure. Yeah. So this is kind of freedom to run around and positive psychology, and this is prison. Yeah. Just okay. So it's important that the structure of the medication is taken twice daily. Yep. But sometimes because of where he's staying, it's a bit loose. Does that make sense?
yeah, so if I get my prescriptions in 2 monthly allotments, and so at the end there can be delays of 10 days until they get my prescription. So
And this
there's
and there's me with my 2 months allotment for my I can't see it.
yeah, I
But
can
because I'm traveling, I had to go and get the medication for my epilepsy. I had to start thinking about it last week.
yeah. And that's it, I think. But when there's a gap in the antipsychotics, it's like drug withdrawals. If you've ever
It,
been withdrawing from hard drugs, it's not a
it's
very
proper dangerous, huh?
yeah, it's not a pleasant experience for me. It's very triggering to the using days. It's very all the similar similar experiences and symptoms.
Okay. So how can we support you in that area?
Um, well, I've just had to get better at ordering them in earlier rather than leaving it till last minute. I guess having people remind me that, as silly as it is, that it's when it's time. Like the chemists, I signed up for a text thing now, so they'll text me when it's ready.
Okay.
Or
So
when it when,
as your multiple team of coaches here, how would you like us to support you?
um I think I'm good on the support front. So I have a psychiatrist,
So you've
therapist.
got this sussed.
I wouldn't say I've got it. I'm doing my best.
Okay, so well, what I want to say is, from my perspective, I think you've got a lot of insight into your mental well-being, your mental unwell-being, or your mental illness, your dual diagnosis. It sounds like you've got a good relationship with all the professionals around you.
Yeah,
Yep, and you really are empowered to to look after yourself there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
So
I feel that now this time around. In the past, I've not ha always had the right support, but at the minute, I'm feeling
okay, so I'm just
supported
going
and
to draw
every
another line here. Okay. So above the line is wellness, and below the line is treatment. And it sounds like you're above the line here.
yeah, yeah. So it's 18 months ago, I was in treatment, and now I'm slowly I'm moving into that space of wellness.
You're recovering.
Yeah,
Okay, wonderful. What a wonderful lived experience example to bring to container here. Okay. Olivia, how was that for you?
Yeah, that was great.
Okay. What was great about it?
Just kind of asking the questions to the client and finding out, asking them what the medication is instead of trying to research it yourself. Just kind of ask them how their medication in their life is and how they deal with it.
Okay, so getting curious
Yeah.
about the medication, coming from a destigmatized place, a factual type of place for kind of safety, yep, and then also to kind of know our lane. So we need to know
Yeah.
what it's like on the other side of the fence, but that's not our area.
Yeah.
So, Anthony, have you taken your medication today?
Yeah, so I have a routine. My morning medication's by my tea bags and my coffee,
Yeah.
and then my bedtime
Okay.
is by my journal in my bedside table.
Yeah. So it's not our job as coaches to kind of question, yeah, and to take on the responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I tell you, in my family, yeah, when people ask me if I've taken my meds and what's going on, it fucking pisses me off. Yeah. And the other thing I don't like is when people talk about meds, people suddenly go, well, I'm not a doctor and I'm not this and I'm not that. And it's like, yeah, we know that. We just want a space to talk and explore.
Mm.
Yeah.
And in some recovery places, they don't think taking medication is good for you either. So
Okay, so let's go back to the diagram quickly because now that's an excellent topic. Okay, so let's go to the problems with the fellowship at times. Yeah, and where often people are out of their scope of practice. Yep, and let's see, does this in this area here? Yep. Sometimes people with no medical experience or training will say that people are clean or not clean. Oh, you're on methadone, you're not clean, you don't get a key ring. Yeah. Or you're taking these meds or whatever. It's very dangerous, that stuff. It's not our scope of practice. And we also know that there's a lot of drug seeking behavior that happens for people when they're still in the harm reduction phase. Yep. Or long-term recovery or whatever. Like, fuck. That's not our space either. That's the relationship between the individual, yep, and their mutual aid group or whatever it is. So this side of the window over here, the other side is culture. Okay, so gongs, sound baths, that sort of stuff is an alternative type of treatment. Yeah, which some people will resonate with. Yeah, in South Africa we have in traditional African culture we have sangomas. Yep. Which are kind of traditional healers, and there's all sorts of alternative medicines there. Yeah, there's Chinese medicine. There's all sorts of stuff that we need to consider as coaches as to what resonates with the individual. Yep. If the person's staunch Jehovah's Witness, for example, there are certain things that medical treatments would be culturally inappropriate for someone of that faith. Yeah. So our job is to listen and to support and to find out what recovery capital they've got in that area and to really just stand the place of, fuck, I don't know, what do you think? Does that make sense?
yeah.
Okay, so we want to get curious about the individual's experience. So what's your experience with all this stuff, Anthony? And what's your history around this?
History around the whole thing.
So what's your experience and what's your history? Because what
Um,
we're trying to do is kind of contain this,
yeah,
yeah, in a coaching conversation.
yeah. So I guess my experience was that for the mental health stuff, a lot of it wasn't diagnosed until later in life. So I was undiagnosed in a dysfunctional environment and dysfunctional upbringing. I suffered, struggled with addiction throughout my life.
So a
Trouble,
lot of it was undiagnosed.
yeah, yeah, trouble with the police, like all of the madness that people live in, and not really knowing, feeling like I never fit in anywhere, and I never felt like a lot of the using was to feel normal
And
because
when did you get the diagnosis?
uh as an adult,
Yep, okay. And then did your life change?
um in some aspects I had a bit more awareness, but I was still using for a long time after having those diagnoses.
Okay. So Olivia, you should have shouted at me there for using a yes/no question.
Mhm.
I should have asked. So how did your life change when you got a diagnosis?
Just made a lot of the past make more sense to,
Okay.
it made sense why I was on the path that I was on, but I still didn't stop for a while after that yet. And I guess going back to the medication, my experience was that I separated from my son's mum during COVID, started feeling good, cancelled all my meds on my own accord, and then went and had a pretty crazy 18 months of feeling alive, but also using a lot. Um, Rushing into another relationship, and then everything coming crashing down very quickly, and I ended up in spent 3.5 months in treatment.
So I see your body's kind of smiling as you tell us the story.
I'm at peace with it now. It's
Are you at
it's
peace with it now?
it's my story, man. I can see it for what it was now. It's taken a long time though.
What's it like sharing your story in the container here?
Uh, yeah, I think it's good. I'm pretty confident sharing. It's my story, it's my truth. So, and I think, yeah, it is where it is. I've learned a lot from it, and it's made me who I am today. Always learning.
And how are we doing as coaches in listening to your story?
Yeah, yeah, good.
Yeah?
Feeling seen.
Feeling seen. Okay. And how important is it to be seen for you?
Um, Not massively important, but in this context where we're sharing my experience and digging into it, I think it's good that you guys are, I'm being listened to effectively. And, I think when you have a lot of different diagnoses and labels, when you're in the medical, when I see a psychiatrist, for example, they think they have the answer and they'll ask you the questions to get to the answer that they want. And when you start to question that, they don't like it. They're pointing you in one direction to the medication that they want to give you, and it's different in this environment by, sharing it. It's more open and fluid.
Okay. All right. So can we unpack this for a bit, Anthony? We've kind of gone into a bit of coaching and a bit of wisdom around this topic, which was brought in by Olivia around I'm a recovery coach. What do I need to know about medication and dual diagnosis? Is that correct, Olivia?
Yeah.
Okay, so the agendas come from the container. So we checked in, we built this, and I think it's a wonderful topic for us to explore. And yep, so Anthony, thank you so much. One of the challenges with dual diagnosis, so dual diagnosis is the person's got a substance use disorder problem and a mental health um, what's the word I want to use? Condition, diagnosis, fucking gift. I don't know, whatever you feel comfortable with. Yeah. Um, but often people that are medicated, there are side effects to that medication. People start to feel better, which is one of the side effects of the medication. It's like, take this, it'll make you feel better. People feel better, and then they want to stop the medication because they kind of think that they're cured now, and then they go back to the behavior. So, and you can, if you just look at that with alcohol or drugs, a lot of people will stop alcohol and drugs, their lives improved, and then they think, okay, well, I can fucking drink again, and the wheels fall off. Yeah. So it's quite similar.
Mm.
Yeah. And lots of medications help people manage people with medical issues. Yep. So I've got epilepsy. I've got a type of a mood stabilizer. I'm not even sure what it does, but fucking stops me shaking around on the ground in a fit and fucking freaking people out. Yeah. The high cholesterol, I could eat better, but fuck that. I'd rather take the meds. Do you know what I mean? There's all sorts of things that are out there in this world. So for me as a coach, I need to understand what my coachees or what the coachees world is like and what it must be like for them living in that world and to be supportive from that perspective. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Ross.
I was just gonna say, I call them like natural drugs, like exercise, what Anthony mentioned there, and eating well, and this, that, and the other. I've noticed when I'm managing my mental health and my body through natural sort of drugs, when I feel like I've got to a point as well with like the natural drugs, I feel great. I'd like slack off a little bit, go to the gym like once a week, and even that is kind of like, even you're stopping your medication there, even though you're not going to the pharmacy and buying it, it's kind of like a natural like medication that's kind of stops, and you kind of have a knock-on effect and
The
spiral out.
slip starts to happen.
Lips, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one.
That's
Yeah.
something
You
my
don't,
therapist always says. The first thing on your prescription is exercise and
yeah.
diet.
Mm, yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so there he's just given us another clue. He's got a therapist. Yep. So around him as a coach, he's got psychiatrists, medical doctors, pharmacists, a therapist. You're a member of the fellowship as well, Anthony.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's got all those boxes covered. Yeah. So he's got a lot of external recovery capital available to him. Yeah. Our job is to work on his internal recovery capital to make use of those resources, not to be responsible for providing those resources. Yep. So, Olivia, we don't diagnose. Yeah. We can have opinion about it and we can talk about our own experience, but that's out of our scope of practice.
Yeah.
And one of my challenges with kind of mutual aid groups or peer support groups or that sort of stuff, it's often the blind leading the blind.
Mm.
Yeah, well, let's put everyone together in the room and get them to help each other with doing peer support, but people are unconsciously incompetent. Yep. So if someone was to come and tell Anthony to stop taking his meds because, it's a program of complete abstinence or something, that's a very fucking dangerous message to be telling someone.
Yeah.
Yes, Ross.
Just a question for you and Anthony as well, this one. But do you find it difficult sometimes with clients when they've got so many like people around them advising them not to do this, to do that? Like, Anthony, you sound like you've got quite, a few different therapists maybe. Like, chipping in on your life, trying to advise you and push you in certain directions. Do you find it hard, like Anthony
So before
has?
you answer that, Anthony, Ross, what's the answer to your question?
Um, it's probably just down to the person, maybe, how they sort of manage it themselves. I don't know.
Because it's a very important thing that you're saying with particularly with addiction. Everyone's got a fucking opinion.
Mm,
There's so many different opinions out there. Are you good to
sometimes I
answer the
feel
question,
like
Anthony?
yeah. So,
Yeah. Well, I guess how I manage it is that I'm good at communicating where I'm at now. When in the past, I haven't always. I would hide things like for my addiction, like my therapist. I've had the same therapist for a decade. She was telling me that I was a addict from the day I met her, but it was only until 2 years ago that I admitted it.
mm,
And so, whereas now I've completely surrendered, I can communicate and honestly tell people where I'm at. And since leaving treatment, all of those meetings were more intense. I had a mental health coach, a therapist, the therapist in the treatment center. I had a psychiatrist, doing 90 meetings in 90 days. It was intense. Whereas now I've moved out of early recovery. So all of it is more spacious and more at like a maintenance period where I meet my therapist once a month just to check in. Like my life's a lot more stable again and everything
mm,
is kind of operating as it should be at my medical team call it operating at baseline. And
mm.
as long as I'm operating at my baseline, I can be productive.
What does operating at baseline mean?
Surviving, keeping my head above water.
Yeah, okay. So that triggers me, yeah. And I get it. It's a great place to start from to have a baseline. But for me, recovery is way more than fucking survival.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And a lot of the medical world come at something to contain it. Yeah.
yeah,
And recovery is way more than that. But that is their job. That's their role to get you to fucking okay, we can discharge this person from hospital now. We've
yeah,
done our job. Yeah.
yeah. And that's where I think that's on me, isn't it? Recovery's all about the action you take, and you only
But
get
if you're
out of it.
going to an environment that doesn't support that next step, then we got a problem.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like, well, we got them to baseline. They must go now.
yeah. And I guess that's where the coaching comes in
Exactly,
to get you to
exactly.
your future vision of where you want to go in your life and recovery. And
Okay.
that's why I'm here.
Yeah, great.
And because I want to help people with that as well.
Okay. So Anthony, you certainly are coming alive on these trainings. I mean, when you started over a year ago, you were a lot more in your baseline, but there
Yeah.
was a real flatness around you.
I was still very depressed for the first year of being home, I would say.
Yeah.
And just doing the bare minimum and fighting and being disciplined to try and get out of it, but slowly but surely, it's the tide is starting to turn on it all.
And you had all sorts of financial challenges, and you had to sell a house, and you've got your becoming your relationship with your son is improving, and you have a long family history of the chaos that goes with mental health. And
Yeah, yeah.
sorry, I'm just getting a bit cautious about what I share and what I don't share,
No,
but
you're all right. Yeah, yeah, that's it. My relationship with my son. I bought a house literally 10 seconds from my son's mom. We still have a good friendship. So he can just walk around, in between. Um,
Oh,
and
that
that's
feels
all
so
good.
nice.
Yeah, yeah, and she's got a new partner, you know, it's all very like it's all going well on that front, which is, you know, I guess one of your finding your why in recovery is, you know, my son is he's essentially why I didn't kill myself, you know.
Oh,
And so that side is good. My family, you know, I've shared before on how I cut my parents out of my life, maybe around, well, this is the first Mother's Day just gone that, you know, I've not had any contact, you know, so that is still feeling good and like the right decision. And yeah, I guess the final piece now is the financial side and but going back to work, you know, I've focused on building a strong recovery foundation for the last 18 months, but now it's time to go back to work.
good for you. Good for you. So what a wonderful example on how to use that window to see where we are.
Mm.
Does that help you, Olivia?
Yeah, kind of matches my story a little bit at the end. Everything's kind of fallen into place for me. And I'm ready
Okay.
to kind of get out and work now. You know, the only thing that was holding me back was my son thing, and now I'm all ready to go.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Paresh, you want to add anything? Treven, Marcus?
No, I mean it's a lot, isn't it? And you know, we've all got our journeys, and it's great. I just think it's great that you know you've come this far. You know,
What have you learned from the first hour almost, first 45 minutes?
for me, sorry.
Yeah.
Um, Around the questioning and the style of questioning around the open and closed, I thought that was really helpful.
Okay.
Um, I know this is going away from the theory of coaching, but it just brought back quite a lot of, you know, memories of my recovery and that sort of stuff, and just how serious and important recovery is.
Okay.
You know, and we need to remember that, don't we, when we're dealing with people.
Okay. Good. Treven? Here comes a wise metaphor, people. Just brace yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting.
Here comes something. A fucking. You need to unmute though before you share your wisdom.
Okay. So I think what comes up for me is that it's that so often we claim ignorance, right? And when we educate ourselves about things like medication, as well as give our clients the tools to educate themselves, it voids them and yourself of the ability to claim ignorance, right? And the more they know, like you look at Anthony. Anthony, he knows about his health conditions and he knows about the meds that he takes. And that education puts him in a better space to look after himself. And as coaches, having that information and knowledge puts us in a better space to proactively help our clients. It removes that ignorance factor. You can never go down the road and say, I didn't know. As long as you knew, you were in the best possible position to deliver the best possible service to the client.
Where's the metaphor, mate? I've got an expectation now.
Um, well, metaphor.
No, relax. I'm just teasing you. Wonderful. It's like, and I've worked in psychiatric places before where you have conversations that kind of educate the client or the coachee, and then people don't like what's being taught. And it's a systemic problem. So it doesn't only work with mental health, but for example, race or transformation within the workplace. Yeah. So you'll go in and have a coaching conversation with someone. You'll give them the tools to find their own voice, and then they speak up, and then they hold leadership and management accountable to the environment, and then you get blamed because you've empowered that individual. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, when people don't like what they're hearing, they push out those that are speaking it, right? And so, how can I put it to you? Um, I lost my train of thought.
That's
But
fine. Which is also the other way of it is Marcus came in quite strong and angry and da da da, and this week he's kind of softened to the role of the people that are in power within these systems. Yep, and he's started to see the humanity in the role that they've got. Is that fair enough to say, Marcus?
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. So, and it's also the burden of the role. So you can't be in a leadership position and say, "Oh fuck, the crown is heavy," and not do anything. You fucking better make your neck strong then, if the crown's heavy. Yeah.
like, I was having a conversation with somebody else a few weeks ago, and I I had the conversation of if I was in the position of a psychiatrist or a prescribing doctor with certain things, especially certain medications, and I'm not saying this should be for everybody. Obviously, you know yourself and where you stand in life, but I'm of the belief that before I give you an antipsychotic or antidepressant, I'm going to take it myself, simply so that I can gauge a better understanding of what it might be doing to you. And I think that we so often in the medical field, well, not this field specifically, but in the medical field, it occurs that people are giving people things just because on paper it says it does a specific thing, and that irks me a little bit.
Okay. So now you're moving out of the kind of our window and moving into the system.
Yeah,
Yep. And then there's all sorts of pressures. So you've got pharmaceutical companies uh, training doctors on what should be done. You've got systemic pressure to get people to the baseline, so society's stable and civil, and it gets really, really fucking complex. Yeah.
yeah.
But we're not there yet. We'll move into that when we get to the systemic side of things.
Hmm.
Ah, Marcus, you want to add something, and then we'll take a 5-minute break.
Yeah, I like how you took us on a bit of a journey and got a real understanding of yeah, you as a person and some of your struggles. And I picked up on, like, I've been told quite a few times by different professionals, like, oh, Marcus, you're so resilient, or you have so much awareness. But the way that you said it, because of the rapport that was built, like it was authentic. Sometimes I feel like it's just a response because professionals don't know what to say. But it felt genuine the way that you kind of wrapped up what you heard. And it always bugs me when someone says, "Oh, you're so resilient." I'm like, yeah, but that's not why I'm here. I don't feel very resilient. So just reflecting on the story, like those characteristics are definitely there. But yeah, just the way you approach the question and the rapport that you built stood out for me. And it's that's what I've got.
So it's time for a break then.
Yeah.
Should we come back on the hour? What time you got there, Trevin? Coming up to 1 o'clock.
Yeah, 5 to 1.
Yeah, okay. All right. So let's come back at 1 minute past. That gives you all 6 minutes and gives Russ a time to get a coffee so he stops yawning because he's finding this meeting boring. See you all in a bit. Hey, Trevin.
Hey, David, got something to eat.
Hmm?
Saying you got something to eat.
Hmm. Eating a packet of crisps for breakfast. I'm so unhealthy. Right, I'm just going to finish my coffee. It was a bit late. So hold the container, Trevin. I'll check him feeling good and hand over to you, Trevin, to build the container.
Okay. I'm checking in feeling refreshed. Um, let's start with Anthony. How are you checking in?
Yeah, checking in, still feeling quite grounded. Got myself a coffee. Um, feeling good. Glad to be here. I will check in Marcus.
Yeah, I'm checking in reflective. It's kind of hearing your journey has kind of reminded me of some of the progress I've got for myself. And yeah, feeling good for the rest of the meeting. Olivia?
Yeah, I'm checking in good. I'm a bit nervous about this evening because my family's over and they're all going to London because it's St. Patrick's Day. So it's going to be full on day for me today. But apart from that, I'm feeling grounded.
Who would you like to pass it on to?
Oh, sorry, Ross.
Yeah, feeling great after that first hour. Very insightful. I really enjoyed it. It was great. I'd like to pass on to David. What are you eating? That's what I want to know.
I think David has already gone.
Oh, has it?
So
Okay.
I'm checking in, eating a packet of crisps for breakfast. Very healthy.
Uh, I'm
Paresh.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm feeling good. I'm looking forward to the next part of the session. All fine. I'll
Is
pass
that
to True.
everybody?
I think, yeah, I think that is.
Okay, cool. So what are we learning? What have we learned in the first hour? And where would we like to take the container on from here?
Just got reminded to open the open questions instead of the yes no ones. I do know that, but sometimes it kind of just happens. So, but yeah, it's just a reminder. That's why I like doing these because it kind of reminds you of things to kind of to be aware of.
So ingrained.
I think what I was trying to say earlier is that someone might present as resilient, but that's conditional on the support network and understanding how important each part of that support network is for someone is to maintain that resilience. So getting the understanding of the back story, for want of a better word, it's important.
The support network is so important. I mean, we, especially within cultures in which we live, we often view it as individualistic, which is that Western view of personality and psychology. Whereas if you tend to look at more African or non-Western perspectives of personality, it's sorry, lightning in the back. It's very much a collective culture. And I think when it comes to all of those key points that you can access, it becomes a collective in nature. Healing becomes something that we do in relation to those around us.
That's Ubuntu.
Mm.
All right. Who's the newest student here? Is it Paresh or Marcus?
I think we're about the same time, weren't we?
Yeah, but I think Marcus has attended more classes.
It must be me then.
Mhm.
Okay. So let's give you some love, Paresh. Yeah. And so I mean, one of the things with Ubuntu is, you leave nobody behind. We're all we're all traveling together. Yeah. So how's the training going for you? And what would you like support around?
So I'm really enjoying the classes, right? So I'm getting so much out of them. I've been spending more time doing the theory again on Sunday. I spent quite a bit of time. Um, so making good progress there. And I think I mentioned this last time. I think I'm going to have to go through the theory a couple of times because there is so much detail, which is great. And then it's just about keeping track of have I covered in the practical, am I covering all of the theory correctly? And I think that's probably where the sessions right at the end with Leanne come into play, don't they? And just, yeah, carrying on with these sessions because I learn so much.
How many classes have you done?
11 hours after today. So, and I only did one for 1 hour. So what does that make it? Five?
Okay.
5, 6?
Yeah,
5,
okay.
6. And
So you should have an understanding of the coaching conversation now.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm up to coaching techniques in the theory. I've just got it up here.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's not it shouldn't be a measure, but it's around 46 now percent. But I think I'm gonna have to go through it a couple of times. Yeah.
Okay. So the training's been designed so anyone from anywhere in the world, regardless of their culture, can get an understanding of it. Yeah. And so we use symbols, 5 symbols. Yeah. And the first one is headphones about the coaching conversation. Really, what we're trying to do is listen. And we're listening for needs, values, and purpose. Yeah. And then holding people accountable for action. So, what are you going to do to start to move forward from this baseline? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what Anthony's done on his baseline when he came and joined this program over the just over a year now, Anthony. Yeah, you've done things like adjusted his relationship with his family, bought a house, moved in closer to his son, sorted out his finances, done. So he's constantly been coming back and moving forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an important place to stay as coaches, because it is so seductive to go back into the wound. Yeah. So coaching sits here. I'm here to support you. There's nothing wrong with you. Doctor, what must I do? Oh, this is what this person's got. Yep. Let me ask him questions so that I can give him the medication that he needs. Yep. This therapist knows what's happened. Let me get them. So Anthony said, I think my therapist knew I was an addict 10 years ago or something. Yep. And just, yep. The sponsor or mentor tells people, this is the steps, this is what you need to do, da 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 da. In the coaching space, I don't know. What do you want to do? How can I support you? How can we work this out together? Huh? So if you can start to just kind of appreciate that, then you're well on your way to the next stage, which is the continuums. So a continuum, the symbol is glasses. Yeah. So it's like that. Yeah. And it's you want to see where the person is going. Yep. So continuum is going from A to Z, but actually it's A, B, C, D, E. Yep. And often for Anthony to get to Z today, last year at this time, he just fucking, oh my God, I've just come back from Thailand. I'm like fucking da 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 da. And he got from A to B and then B to C. Yep. And the next continuum or the main continuum is one to wellness, to high well-being. So the one side is premature death and the other side is high well-being. So when we've been talking with Anthony around this, it's been holding him in a space that he's been able to move towards high well-being. And to do that, we've needed to get an understanding of his medical world, his psychiatric world. Yeah, we needed to get an understanding of the biopsychosocial world, the biology, the psychology, and the social environment. Yeah, and we needed to get an understanding of his support world. Does that make sense? And by holding conversations and and getting curious about his relationships with those resources, he has moved along to a place of high well-being. Does that make sense? Yeah. So basically, each week it's like, "Fuck, Anthony, how you doing? Let's check in. Are you moving forward?" Yeah. So he loves alternative healings. He loves all that peace, love, brown rice stuff. He's got a podcast. He's got a good friend. They're opening up they've got a vision for a piece of land and doing all the Somerset crystal healing stuff. And yeah, it's
Yeah.
fantastic. I say it in a joking way, but it is actually fucking brilliant. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah. The next continuum, yeah, is addiction, harm reduction, abstinence. Yeah. So Anthony was in a culture of addiction 10 years ago. His therapist knew about it and said, get out. Yeah. He moved towards harm reduction, had fucking psychotic breakdown, and then had to go into an abstinence-based program and to rebuild his psyche. Is that correct, Anthony?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
yeah. So it's also seeing where the person is on the continuum. Yep. Ross, you're also doing complete abstinence, yes? No?
No, no, I wouldn't. I'm not abstinent from all substances now.
Okay, all right, but
But I
you're
stopped taking like Coke, like and alcohol, like 8, 9 years ago now. So that's like the Achilles heel for me. That was what got me. But yeah, I'm not abstinent.
okay,
Like, I'm not completely like sober from drugs.
okay.
Like on illegal and well, illegal, yeah, and legal.
Oh, I'm so curious now. Do you want
Yeah,
to?
no, I do like I've done like a couple of ayahuasca ceremonies, like I do like mushroom ceremonies now and again. Like I'm not like I don't drink, I don't do coke, I wouldn't do like pills and stuff. I'm not like but I wouldn't
Okay, so you're
like
out of that drug
yeah,
culture in that sense, and you've moved more into the psychedelic ritual,
yeah.
let's say ceremonial healing space.
Yeah, and even that I've not done like mushrooms for like over a year and a half, not done like ayahuasca for like 2 years. So it's not like I'm doing it every other month or like it's just like an as and when kind of thing. It's not like I'm not like I don't know how to explain it, but I wouldn't say I'm like, abstinence is like, oh no, I can't touch, anything or, yeah.
Okay, so there's what's the word I want to, there's,
But I did go like abstinence for like a year and a half. I didn't even touch like sugar and caffeine and things like that for like when I first stopped
okay,
taking
so you
when I
went
got the help.
completely bonkers.
Yeah, no, yeah, I just like I don't know through like education and like knowledge, I kind of looked at myself as someone who's addicted to kind of like instantly gratifying things or like stimulants, caffeine, sugar, that sort of stuff, and honed in on like really natural, like clean living, and went sort of down that route. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's explore um, microdosing and psychedelic kind of treatment from a recovery coaching perspective and an
Mm.
ethical perspective.
Hmm.
Is that a nice conversation to have?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Who wants to go first?
Um, well, we could talk about microdosing probably.
Okay.
Something that I've not done, but I've been looking into doing it or been having conversations around doing it for a while or trying to trial it for like a few months. Never got round to it. Whether that's my body telling me that I don't need it or I'm just too lacking discipline to get on with it. But I don't know. But I think there is benefits for every individual. Everyone can maybe educate themselves and sort of go into whatever direction they want to medicate and treat themselves in of their own sort of accord, really. But it's an interesting subject.
Can you explain microdosing?
Microdosing is taking like a milligrams of like magic mushrooms, basically. Well, you use magic mushrooms you can do it with like LSD and all different types of drugs basically. They do like MDMA therapy using microdosing. It's legal in some states in America and things like that. But microdosing, you're meant to take like no, I think it's like 0.01 of a gram to start off with. You're not meant to like really feel like some sort of psychedelic experience. You just kind of like, yeah, just kind of.
Is it the same for like when people are having ketamine for treatment? They would have micro.
Maybe I don't. I'm not really educated on that to be honest. I never really looked into it, but possibly, yeah. I think microdosing as like a term is like taking like like a really, really small
Yeah.
dosage, a drug to kind of make you feel a certain way.
So it's like vodka
And you
miniature
do like
bottles.
a capful.
So,
But yeah, you're meant to like you're meant to do it for like 5 days, then like stop for two. There's like different, Joy, stop. The dog's trying to get in the room. Um, yeah, you're meant to like do it for like set periods of time and like stop, like 5 days, stop for two, or 2 weeks, stop for a few days. You're not meant to like constantly do it because it kind of doesn't have the same effect. You're meant to kind of detox your body from it in a way, let your body use up what it's got and then go again. But you're not meant to feel it, you're not meant to like walk outside and see a bin moving across the bloody pavement or anything like that. It's like you're just
Does
meant
that encourage taking more? Like, because it's
to,
kind
Before we go there,
of.
what's the
Sorry.
feeling in the container? What's the level 3 listening in the container?
I think from my side, if I could just weigh in, is
What's the
that
feeling, Treven? You kind of got like a nervous smile, and Marcus has also got a bit of a, "Oh," and just
I I always get anxious around these things because of
there's
the
an anxiety coming in. Okay.
Mm,
yeah.
So
Um,
there's a topic that's come into the container.
yeah.
Yep. that might, but there's kind of like, ooh, fuck, okay. So I just
I
want
think
us to be aware of that first.
yeah, I think for me it's the legality of it that brings in that anxiety. Um,
Okay,
yeah,
so
from
it's illegal,
yeah, in South Africa it's illegal. There's
but in South Africa, marijuana is legal.
yeah, so it's going to court in the next few months, and they're going to use the same argument that they use for marijuana for the psychedelics, and we'll
Okay.
see how that goes.
Okay, and
Um,
psychedelic treatment's been legalized in Australia.
yeah, I think so.
Yep, it has. So you can go and take your mushrooms and your MDMA and all that sort of stuff and go on your didgeridoo and fucking do what you do and all live happily ever after. I
so
notice my joking comes in when the conversation's a bit fucking edgy. So that's
yeah,
my trickster joker coming in just to try and massage the conversation a bit. All right.
so like
So,
I was holding my
huh?
I was actually holding my dog, and the moment the conversation came up, I sent him onto the bed.
All right, fuck it. This is going to be all right.
So I
But
think, sorry, go ahead, Trevor.
I was just gonna shed some information about the microdosing. So generally with mushrooms, it comes in a capsule, and that capsule has 200 milligrams of the mushroom, right? And ideally, what it's meant to do, or the reasoning behind taking it, is that a psilocybin acts on a receptor called the 5-HT2A receptor, which is a serotonin receptor. And the idea is that you put it in, and the dose is so minute that you don't feel any cognitive shift in terms of hallucinations and stuff, but it can ease in symptoms of depression and anxiety. Another benefit that was hypothesized is that it increases neurogenesis and neuroplasticity. So the brain's ability to learn and form new things, like learning tasks should become easier, breaking old habits become easier. And the regiment normally is 1 day on, 1 day off. So you'll take it on Monday, skip it on Tuesday, take it on Wednesday, skip it on Thursday. And yeah, that's uh, that's the idea behind the microdose.
Mm. Quite like a grey area, like I've not heard the 1 day on, 1 day off, but I've heard like 5 days on, 2 days off. I think it's like kind of
You
got to
must,
work out, go, there's lots of like different re self-medicating research out there that, you know, big organizations have done clinical studies on it and to come up with their own theories, but it's kind of like a bit of a got to kind of work it out yourself, I
at the end
think.
of the day,
From my research, I met someone randomly the other day, just came out of it. He microdoses, wouldn't have thought anything, wouldn't have thought it at all. But he does 5 days on, 2 days off. It's changed his life. But anyway.
it all depends on the individual and their biology. Right?
Mm,
Some people are comfortable with that, some people are comfortable with other regimes. It also depends what fits into your lifestyle. And the thing with these things is that intention is so important, especially even with the microdosing. It's why am I taking it? What do I hope to achieve? What is it going to help me with? Because with psychedelics, the awareness of why you're taking them is the of utmost importance. If you take them unconsciously, then the experience becomes an unconscious one. And so even with the microdose, yes, I'm taking it today. What do I need it for today? What is it there to help me get done? Um, I do microdose, but and I don't microdose 5 days on, whatever it may be. I microdose. There'll be a day when I'll wake up and I'll be like, today's the day. And
mm,
then I'll take the microdose. I'll understand why I'm taking it, what I hope to achieve from taking it and stuff like that. So I approach it in a space of awareness.
Okay. So Treven's just fessed up to taking psychedelic drugs, which are illegal. And and Anthony's fessed up to taking psychiatric drugs, which are legal, and both are to improve life.
Mm.
Okay. Olivia wants to go and start working with people that have been abusing ketamine and coming in for ketamine treatment recovery.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful container.
Mm.
Okay, sort your shit out, people. I've no idea how to navigate this.
I think when we spoke about the grey area, one of the grey areas, when I first come back, my mental health coach suggested potentially being open to some psychedelic treatment trials in Oxford for a company. But she didn't ask me about my medication. I can't do the psychedelic trials. I can't take mushrooms with my medication because there can be like serious side effects.
So,
Mm.
Anthony, as your mental health coach, do you mind signing up to be a lab rat for the Oxford University people so we can test psychedelics on your very fragile psyche?
Please send me the forms
Advice.
off.
Well, I didn't, but she sent me links to look at them, and I
Please
just,
forward me those links.
I just, I already knew that I couldn't, because of my medication.
Okay, so we're here to do recovery coaching training. Yeah. What is coming up for you around the topic and who has the answer?
The client has the answer.
Great. So, what do we explore around that?
His experience, the context around why he found that appealing, as opposed to and finding out why, what wasn't working, how he thinks this is going to work.
Mm.
What stood out for me in the conversation is the experience, the lived experience. Obviously, these psychedelics and ayahuasca things aren't scientists or professors in that field necessarily. They're people with lived experience and passed down wisdom, and then versus the system trying to get on that bandwagon and making it scientific and studied, and it's that known versus the unknown. So the science is trying to know it, but it works well with the unknown, like trial and error, sort of. Yeah, just try this and see how you feel. But I'll support you afterwards, sort of thing. That's kind of what I get from like an ayahuasca thing and the intention. But yeah, the lived experience versus the professional study side of it.
Okay. So Anthony met Treven on a recovery coach training, and Anthony decided to go off and take a whole lot of psychedelics to help him with his mental health because Treven said it was a good idea. And now the NHS have come and fucking shat on me and said it's my fault because we've spoken about this and we're encouraging psychedelic treatment.
Well, you're the captain of the ship, so by all means, by all means.
The leader of the NHS, David.
The leader of the NHS and fucking Marcus has brought his anarchist friends to take down. Now look at a bunch of
Mm.
Paresh. What are your views here? You're looking like, oh fuck.
I'm just listening. It's interesting.
Yeah. So quick check-in. How are you feeling? One of the five feelings: guilt and shame, anger, sadness, fear, or joy. I feel a little bit of fear. Treven,
Yeah.
Ross,
Yeah, I'd say fear as well. Yeah.
Olivia.
Responsibility.
What's the feeling?
Responsibility. I feel
No,
responsible
no,
for
no,
the
no.
container.
Responsibility is a judgment
Okay.
attached to one of those feelings.
Nervous.
So fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anthony.
So, fear.
Marcus.
I'm feeling quite open and impartial on it. Obviously, I'm not an
Okay.
expert, so I don't have an opinion.
But a little bit of fear.
No,
Joy.
I'm not the one that's going to go off and take it. So,
Okay. Anger. Sadness. Guilt and shame.
contemplation.
So contemplation's when you're thinking about something, but what's the feeling in your body as you contemplate?
I guess like inquisitive, like
Okay.
want to know more about it.
So I'm going to say joy. I'm
Okay.
going to say that, like, yeah, I'm enjoying this. This is, I'm not at risk here. I don't have to take anything. I'm liking the conversation.
We'll go with that.
Are you sure? I don't want to upset you. Okay. Paresh?
So again, I'm neutral on it as well, but I would say a little bit of fear for X reasons and a little bit of joy.
Okay. So
Because I'm
fear and joy.
inquisitive, I want to hear
Yeah.
more. I'm probably just being bloody nosy, but
So,
yeah, but also a little bit of fear, not for myself, but for the subject and others maybe
okay.
triggering. I don't
So
know.
fear and joy, when you put those two together, you get excitement. Yeah. So I'm going up a roller coaster. Oh fuck, I'm gonna die. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a bit risk there. It's kind of exciting and joyful. Okay. Great. Okay. So the gift of fear is intuition. It allows us to look into the future and see something. Yeah. So let's just kind of like, fuck, things could go wrong here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So when things could go wrong, let's just get grounded and see where we are. So we're here to learn about recovery coaching, yeah, to help shift people from a culture of addiction to a culture of recovery. Yeah. We know that there's multiple pathways to recovery, and the individual decides what recovery looks like for them. Are we all in agreement with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if we haven't taught that yet, that needs to be emphasized. Yeah. And to make us professionals of lived experience, that means that we bring our own lived experience in a professional way to help the coachee, yeah, in their recovery. So you're all here to learn about recovery coaching. Yep. And different people have got different perspectives around this. Yeah. So in the fourth part of the training, we're going to learn about political intelligence. Yep. And when to say something and when to be discerning about that. So Treven doesn't want to go into a police station and tell people, hey, I'm microdosing and I tell people to go and take psychedelic drugs, because politically that's going to impact himself. It's going to put him at risk. It's going to put the police at risk because they have to live by the law. Yeah, it's just a bit of a fuck up. Yep. If Treven went to Anthony's psychiatrist and said, listen, I think Anthony should be taking psychedelic drugs, yep, and the psychiatrist agrees with that, he's going to be going against the norm of westernized medical psychiatry. Does that make sense? Yeah. There's a whole like, so the psychiatrist can't agree with that officially.
Can we as coaches agree to it?
So we agree to nothing. We know nothing.
Okay.
We take Marcus's response. Yeah, Marcus's response was very clear. Fucking do what you want to do. I'm not doing that. Fucking, yep. you're adult enough and well enough to make your own choices. Is that fair enough to say, Marcus?
Yeah, I would advise to go and find the advice or knowledge or whatever it is that you're seeking from someone that's in that field.
Yeah, go find more information around it. He's neutral to it. Yep. Whereas Olivia, you specifically want to go and help people create a ketamine support group because there's a big culture amongst the youth that are using ketamine at the moment. And what's the other thing they're using? Nitrous oxide or what's it? These inhalants.
The balloons.
Balloons and yeah, I think it's nitrous oxide in there, laughing
Yeah.
gas.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. I mean, personally, when I hear that, I want to say, fucking go use some decent drugs. But, fucking Jesus Christ.
Hmm.
It's nice to see some laughter come in the container.
What I thought, what Treven said about the intention with like setting an intention, um, especially with psychedelics, to get the most out of it, to have like a clean sort of, they call it like a plant, a dieta, like a plant dieta, like cleanse your body first of certain chemicals, sugars, gluten and like red meats and things like that, and then like take your ayahuasca or psychedelics to kind of have the purest experience, like setting an intention. Like, would you say like intentions don't get set with like pharmaceutical drugs? It's kind of just like a sort of take and hope. Um, would people think like that is kind of a
I
perception or
think
like just an idea of the health professionals? They're not maybe trying to understand like setting an intention and looking at things from a more natural way. I
I,
don't know.
I think there is always intention in whatever substance we take, right?
Mm.
Oh well, with me anyway. If I take a painkiller, it's because I've
You
got pain
fucking
in my
drug addict.
if the cat puts, I shall wear it. But if I've got pain in my back and I take a painkiller, I know taking the painkiller to get rid of the pain in the back. If I need to write an assignment or an assessment and I take a bit of Advexa, I understand I'm taking it so that I can get through this work. What happens is, this is just my perspective, is that you can become attached to an experience, right? And in becoming attached to the experience, you lose the ability of it to be a tool because all of these things are tools and you have a toolbox and you take it when you take out a hammer because you need to hit in a nail. Why would you hold on to the hammer after the nail is in the wood? It it becomes pointless. And so with awareness, you can accurately use things for different intentions and not I what I'm saying now is coming up. But like if you have a problem, obviously steer clear, don't use anything. But if you can remain conscious and keep, or if I can remain conscious and keep my intention intact, then different substances can serve me to achieve different purposes. Um, with psychedelics, the intention has to be there. It's more so important so that you can gear your experience to what you need it to be to create that healing effect. You have to be a bit more aware around it. I know that people
So,
when they
Treven, I
go,
want you to start speaking more with I
yeah,
statements around your
yeah,
experience and to stop trying to use the language of you have to be more aware or you have to, because that's kind of projecting stuff, yeah, onto other people. Whereas you're like, so what I found is a ba 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 ba. Before you
So,
do that, though, just one thing I just want to teach, or teach, is to bring awareness around in African culture, in South Africa in particular, somebody might get called to twasa. And twasering
oh,
is being called by the ancestors to go and take the path of a sangoma, yeah, a traditional healer. In Western culture, we would think that that person's having a psychotic breakdown, yeah. And what happens in when this happens in African culture, the person can go off to the village and live with the sangoma and have the psychotic episode processed into a role within the community. If that person rocks up at a Western hospital, they're going to be given quetiapine, antipsychotic meds, mood stabilizers, and a whole lot of sort of things to try and contain what is happening for that person. There we go. Treven, what book
so
said?
I have this book, right? And it's basically about this white guy, South African, and he goes on this journey of getting qualified as a traditional healer. And the book's name is African Psychoactive Plants. And so it's just him going on these experiences and telling stories about these different plants and how they used medicinally to achieve different purposes. In the end, he does become qualified as a traditional healer. And it's quite an amazing book if you read it because it's experience based.
Okay.
And so,
So there's real lived experience, but this is definitely part of Treven's kokorozashi, huh? When
yeah,
Treven talks about this stuff, you can see he's like, fuck, yeah. Yeah.
I guess it definitely gets my gears going.
Huh?
I'm saying it definitely gets my gears going.
Yeah, great. Okay, cool. So the other thing we got to watch out for is when our kokorozashi, yeah, our excitement gets projected onto the individual. And it's a balancing act. There's no right or wrong here.
It's it's a very interesting thing because I think that Western psychology has made everything a sickness. And as a field, psychology has only existed for what, 150 years, 160? It's it's a very new field, but people have been living for millennia before that. And so things have been dealt with for millennia before that. We've somehow, well, I feel that the field has sacrificed ancient knowledge and wisdom in helping people for a century and a half's worth of scientific information, which is great. I believe that the scientific information is important and we need it. But in pursuing that, the field should not forsake all of the knowledge that came before that.
So let's start to wrap this up. And just remember, Freud loved his cocaine. Yeah. Um, Jung, a lot of Jung's archetypical work he got from indigenous cultures and dreams about the ancestors and things like that. So a lot of Jungian psychology is based on traditional indigenous cultural stuff. Maslow's hierarchy of needs he got from Native American culture and the way that people live in tribes in Native America. So a lot of the psychology that we have today has been taken from traditional native um, customs. And in the UK, paganism, I think, was kind of wiped out by religious institutions.
Paganism, I think it refers to anyone who's a non-believer in Christ. If
So
I'm not
let's
mistaken.
end on Olivia's cultural celebration of St. Patrick's Day. And how much Guinness is going to be drunk today because of that.
Quite a lot. It was quite funny actually. I went to watch the rugby on Saturday with my family, and there's a thing on, like, if you went on the Wi-Fi, whoever, if you kind of predicted who won their match or the game, you get a pint of Guinness. So I won, and I was like,
Obviously,
oh, obviously, it's like, and then yeah, they
it
were all
was a
fight.
message from your higher power.
They were all fighting over this pint of Guinness. Who's gonna have it? It was quite funny, really. Like, my daughters were like, "Oh," I was like, "As if I'm going to do anything with it." They were like, "Oh, you can get Sarah Guinness," and I was like, "Oh no, there's nothing worse." Ugh. Yeah, no, that was quite comical. So, yes.
Would you like to start the checkout, Olivia? What's your takeaway today? We kind of went to quite the psychedelic cultural side of treatment.
Yeah, I got the answers that I needed. Got some kind of perspective of it. So yeah, I'm feeling it's been a good session today. Thank you. Marcus.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. It's very interesting, very insightful. And yeah, I'm focused for the rest of the day. I'll pass to Ross.
Cheers, Marcus. Yeah, great session. I loved I love both halves, but like especially in the first half about trying to structure your questions to sort of be a coach, trying to extract that information and extract their own answers, the client's own answers was great. And also just listening to Paresh as well about like sort of managing like the coursework, and that's something that I need to kind of be more structural about and more intentional about, managing sort of the academic side of this, and also like trying to figure out how I'm gonna do my like coaching hours to get up to speed. That's something that I really need to figure out as soon as possible. But yeah, very insightful. Yeah, thanks Anthony for sharing a bit of your life. Well, a lot of your life at the start, especially. Cheers, mate, and yes, pass on to Anthony.
Thanks, Ross.
Mm.
Yeah, checking out. Glad to be here. I guess that, it was good to understand, how edgy and uncertain that topic of psychedelics is to a lot of people. And yeah, I quite enjoyed it today. I will tag Paresh.
I really enjoyed the session. First one was totally different to the second part.
We did the two
And I think
extremes.
I know why I have this fear around this conversation. It's like I want to know more, but I don't want to know more. It sounds really intriguing, but yeah, could probably talk a lot about that. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the rest of the week. All is okay. I'm not going to be able to make the session on Thursday. But just going to continue with some of the coursework, hopefully on Sunday again. That's it. I'll pass to Trevi.
Yeah, checking out, a bit anxious, but grateful for the session. It was a good session. Um, yeah, got to speak about a lot, learned a lot, and we'll pass it to Olivia.
So Olivia kicked off, I think.
Yeah.
How is it? Okay,
Everyone's done.
David.
Okay. So, does anyone want any homework? That's one thing. So give yourself some homework. The
Mm.
second thing is coach each other, get onto the school platform, meet each other, and just do the coaching hours amongst yourselves. Get time to meet, just do it. Let's build this community where people can kind of chat and support with each other. Marcus is assisting there in that area as well. Are you all on the school platform?
Yeah.
I don't think I am. I
Okay.
need to get on it.
Okay.
Sure.
I think I saved a link. I can't find it. Do I go into the?
If you drop me an email and I'll send you a new link. I'll just put my email in the chat for you. Or join that, what David just sent.
Yeah, no, sorry, it's
How do I
London
get your
Recovery
email?
Coaching. Can I edit this? There I can.
My email's just above that.
Oh fuck.
Oh, sorry.
It won't let me
Hold on.
edit it. Let me see if I can edit coach. Yeah.
Okay, so I clicked on this. It says error.
No, try that one.
Which one? Try it again, basically.
The one in the link. It should say London Recovery Coaching.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Is that in the chat, David? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the chat.
Can you see it?
Yeah,
No, I
so
can't
I've
see it,
opened
but-
it. So I just need to log in or register, basically. Is that
Can you
right?
see that now, Ross?
Yeah, I got it now.
See your
Yeah, I got it.
leaderboards.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So do I use my other login? Oh, I'll work it out.
Just use an email. So let's go here.
Okay, fine. Sign up. I don't have an account. Okay, I'll sort this out now.
So just click join group there and then stick in your name and password.
Yep.
And then log in from there. And then you'll get access to the community. Yep. And then you
Okay,
can
great.
chat amongst yourselves
Okay, I've done that
and do
now.
stuff.
How
Thank
do we
you.
log the improve our coaching hours then?
Pardon?
How do we log improve our coaching hours?
So we're going to ask you and you're going to be honest.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
It's like one of the things that really take away from the professional being there with the client is all the paperwork and the bureaucracy behind everything. Yeah, and GDPR and being sued and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, those professional bodies actually have taken away from the value of the one person sitting with the other person. Yep. So we want to really be cautious about recreating the same system. Yeah. However, we don't want to. We also want to be highly. We want good professional coaches to go out. Does that make sense?
No, it does make sense. Yeah, I like that thinking as well.
It's a difficult dance.
Okay.
But there's lots of people out there, and I'm going to say therapists, that actually haven't done their own personal work. And it plays out in practice. So, and that's not to undermine all the good stuff out there, but there's a lot of people out there that, because I mean, if it was working, we wouldn't have such a drug and alcohol suicidal crisis in the world, would we? Or am I wrong?
Probably not.
All right, everyone. Lots of love. Hopefully, I'll see you on Thursday when
Mm.
I'll be in the Netherlands, I think.
Great. Can I
I
just ask a
think,
quick question? Sorry.
A quick
just
question. Does that mean you're going to speak really fast or?
So I'm registering and it's asking me for London recovery coaching, answer questions to join the group, professional workplace recovery coach, family
Yes.
recovery coach. But that's not
Yes.
a question.
So
So
what's
what?
your question? Just say yes to them all.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, cool. Thanks.
I'm still trying to work this out myself.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wonderful.
Cool.
All right, so everyone good with the recording? Anthony Treven, you good?
Yeah, good.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a
Thanks,
good day.
guys. Have a
Take
good
care,
week.
everyone. Bye.